All right, so if you're a month into building your clothing brand, you're in the danger zone. Most brands die here, not because the product sucks, but because they have no idea how to get consistent sales. I've helped over 300 clothing brands in the last 12 months alone generate over $150 million in sales. And I can tell you right now, the brands that survive, they don't spend months perfecting their logo or blow 10 grand on inventory. They know exactly who their audience is, what content feeds that audience, and the exact framework to hit 20K months on repeat. That's exactly what I'm about to give you step by step. So here's the first mindset shift. Better does not sell, different does. So I see every week someone spends 6 months crafting the perfect hoodie, the best t-shirt, or the cutest dress thinking it's gonna sell itself. It won't. The brands that win are the ones that show up before they're ready, tell their story, and stand out in a sea of the Me Too type of designs. Go read the book, Blue Ocean Strategy, if you have not read it yet, a little ode to them or a homage to them. So in the next few minutes, I'm gonna be walking you through the 3 massive mistakes most brands make in month 1, and then hand you the exact 5-pillar system that we've used to take clothing brands from literally 0 to 20K per month, 100K per month, $1 million per month, and beyond. Stop playing brand designer and start playing brand builder. What do I mean by that? Most people start a brand and immediately play the fashion designer, which is cool, don't get me wrong. I know some of you guys are super creative. You are awesome. They obsess over, you probably obsess over, the colors, argue with yourself about the logo placement, and spend thousands on packaging, all before anyone even knows you exist. So I had a client from the New York area, and they are absolutely obsessed with the quality of the materials and that they were ethically sourced, they were built and made right here in the United States, but the total sales were 0, like none, even after years. Why? Because they never built an audience. So when we stripped it back and we started documenting their process, showing behind the scenes and talking directly to their ideal customer, guess what happened? They went from a couple orders a week. So, and those orders, just to clarify, those orders were in person, not actually selling online, to selling out their next drop in literally under 48 hours. And to be fair, I don't think they had a ton of pieces, but we're talking about, I think it was like $5,000-$6,000, which was amazing. They had never done anything like that. Your brand doesn't need to look perfect to start, but it does need to show up every single day. So real quick, hey, I just want to say a quick hey, howdy, and hello. So my name is Aaron, and alongside my business partner, Christian, we've built this channel for you, clothing brand owners, so that you can take this knowledge and build the businesses you deserve to change you and your family's lives. In the last 12 months, we've helped over 300 brands scale online. And if you found any value in this video so far, helped it a little bit, please make sure to hit that nice little like and subscribe button. It is free, and you don't miss out on any of our content. If you do it in the next 3 seconds, I will share with you the first YouTube channel Christian and I started together back in 2008. All right, so you have got to find your audience before you sell to them. What do I mean by that? You can have the best product in the world. I'm not saying it's worthless. Don't get me wrong, right? You don't throw your screen here. But it is worthless in the sense you won't make any money. So stop trying to sell to everyone and start figuring out exactly who you're speaking to. We do this by going through a 3-part struggling avatar. So struggling avatar is the first step you want to start with whenever you're starting your brand. There's some information here, kind of goes into some details about what this actually is, but it gets down to a couple of main things. Okay, so what are your core values? What are your identities? What's the experience and the knowing that you have? If you're 20 years old, a little bit different than somebody who's 65. You may have less experience, less knowing. That doesn't mean that you don't have any. We need to go through your past struggles. I know some people who are 20 years old who have been through more struggles than people who are 40. It doesn't matter. But what you're gonna get to is that you are the actual customer for your audience, at least the initial one. So we need to focus on one audience and one person. You are not selling to men and women. I know you think your brand is gonna go worldwide. I mean, it'll reach millions and millions and millions of people, and it can, but if you try to focus on everyone, it will go to nobody. So you gotta focus on one audience. So one audience that you're actually going after, and guess what? They look a lot like you. So if you're a guy, sell to a guy. If you're a girl, sell to a girl. Make sure it is very, very specific on who you're going after. So this is the problem. What are all the problems that they're going through? Guess what? Because the avatar is you, you know them better than probably most other people, right? So you have the struggling avatar. So then you have your unique solution, which guess what? It is your product. I've seen a lot where brands who are like, I never had a pair of leggings that were like sweat proof, or I always had leggings that actually, never fit well or didn't have pockets. So it's like, okay, here's the unique solution. I created a pair of leggings that are sweat proof, they're squat proof, they're whatever else, and they've got great pockets. Cool. You are now selling this product to your customer. Very simple, very easy. Okay, this is your unique solution. So you would walk through this, answer the questions about what it is for your unique solution. All right, so then you need to be able to describe your future pace hero. Maybe they're gonna look like this guy right now who's super happy, but you need to be able to tell the story about what life looks like afterwards. The way that I look at this is like, you go from struggling avatar, so this person probably at their worst or when they have a problem, to the unique solution. Life gets a little bit better because they're using your product. And then future them is way over here. They're at a higher place, at a higher level playing field than what they were over here. This is higher than that. So from struggling avatar to future pace hero, you've got to be able to tell that story and draw people in. And once you have the answers to that, you start creating content that feels like it's speaking directly to your future customer. That's how you get strangers to say, this brand gets me. All right, so there's this clothing line, it was for kids, that was doing what you probably wanted to do as well, making sure that their Instagram feed, it was completely curated to the perfect looking. It was so on brand that it had the best looking content. They're posting a ton of product photos, okay? A lot of these, okay? Avoid this. I see this a lot where people created their own t-shirt or their own brand and they put their own name on there and expect people to make sure that it has meaning, and then all of their Instagram, it looks like that. So it's either super high quality and they never post, or they post so much and it's all placed stock designs and it's just literally, it's just talking about the products and that's it. And they do this a lot because how else would people know that you sell clothes if you don't post about it every single day? So the content quality was decent for this brand in my perspective, in my my perception of it, but for this person, her audience spoke and said it wasn't interesting. Why? Because it was getting, maybe they got maybe there was like one person there. They got one little heart, if you will, but not a ton of people. So we started creating carousels and reels with text that matched what was working today. For example, right now, at least if this is this video, carousels right now that are working, it's like you have lifestyle imagery that's working and then you have text. So you have an image here and then you have like 20 images or videos or whatever, and there's text overlaid, and there's 1 through 20 because that's what carousels allow for on Instagram right now, and you just use this to tell a story, plain and simple. You can use that, just like this brand did, match what is working today, but then just created relatable content for the target audience. For this brand, it was actually just moms. The engagement increased 3x, not just 1x, 3x, and because of the attention on her ads doing better, and she's making more money. Not that it matters, but her followers are actually up too. But the point is, okay, so when you get into the ad side of things, which I'll mention a little bit later in this video, what you need to go do for that, but what she was able to do was create a segment of an audience of people who were engaged with her, who were new, who didn't know about her brand, that reached so many more people just because she created relatable content instead of just trying to sell an actual product. And here's the truth, most brand owners never get past this step, honestly. They keep posting content for everyone, hoping it sticks, and 6 months later, they're wondering why nothing is working. That's when they reach out to us, but that's exactly why we created a free strategy call for you. It's 45 minutes. My team and I can show you the exact framework that we've used to scale brands for the last 10 plus years. We've done this for over 300 brands in the last year alone, and once they lock in their audience, everything else gets easier. Sales, content, ads, everything, you name it, is so much easier. So if you don't want to spend the next few months or years guessing, check out the link in the description down below, schedule that call. Obviously, there are limited spots, so go do that right now. Okay, so this one is huge. Volume is king. This is the most people fight me on. Posting once a week is not enough. We're in a world where your customer is hit with hundreds, if not thousands of brands every single day. If you want to win, you have to be the one that they cannot escape. This means volume, consistency, showing up in their feed, inbox, and stories over and over until they cannot forget you. We call this content stacking, mixing. So you have your organic posts, you have paid ads, you have UGC or user generated content, and at a minimum email touch points. So I would like for you to eventually get to SMS and ManyChat, and would like to, as soon as you get to 1,000 people on your email list, sending 2 to 3 emails per week. So you're always in the line of sight. It's not spam, it's relevance. And what relevance is what gets you sales on repeat. There was a video out there, so Cody Sanchez was on the Diary of a CEO podcast, highly suggest it. She was on there with Alex Hormozy and Daniel Priestley recently. And there's a part of this video that I think a lot of people skipped over because the podcast was 2.5 hours, and how many of you guys actually watched the full podcast? But anyway, she said entrepreneurs today do not have a clue how hard it is to do hard work. So what she means is that we all think we are working hard, myself included. But what we don't realize is that to truly make it, you may not understand the level at which you have to operate to truly make it. And it's so much more than we're currently doing right now. That's, I think, because there's people on YouTube and Instagram and wherever else that are selling this lifestyle. It's a very large audience. Very difficult to convert, but you got the people who have the Rolexes and the cars and all the things that you may want. So it seems like, oh, everyone is winning. Everyone is making money. It must be a me problem. And it's like, ultimately, yes, you have to take responsibility for yourself, and the world is a meritocracy. But to get to that level, it is so much harder than what people make it out to believe. They make it look easy, which is why they're doing so great, right? It's kind of like you're swimming on the water, and like it looks like you're fine up here, but your feet are just going crazy underneath. That is the difference here to actually making it. So I'm telling you right now, in this stage of your business, how important it is. And everything I just said, it all fits into what we call our e-com accelerator, this 5-pillar system that we've used and refined for hundreds of brands. Let me get this on the whiteboard for you so we can walk through it so that you can grow your brand. All right, and I'm gonna use green because I want you to make some money. And also, I got too much blue over here. Okay, so let's go ahead and walk through this, and I will tell you right now, whether you're just starting out, which I know that if you're watching this video, you may be doing, or if you're making $1 million per month, it doesn't matter. Every single brand falls into one of these 5 pillars. If your brand isn't working, it's because you have a bottleneck in one of these 5 areas. So thank goodness it is, I would say, relieving to know that all the answers are right here on this board, okay? So if you're somebody to take notes, which you should be, that tells me that you're paying attention and you're not wasting your time. So website, most important thing here, you've got to have a good website, otherwise it doesn't matter. Website needs to be between 1.5% and 3% conversion eventually. Where most people get caught up is that if it's all cold traffic, it's going to be a lower conversion rate. So your numbers are maybe closer to that 1% when you're just starting out, versus if you use your profit mechanisms like email, which have people who are warmed up and nurtured, they're going to come back to the website and give us a higher conversion rate. But 1.5% to 3%, that's where we kind of want to be as far as a clothing brand. Over 3%, you're going to way too warm. Below 1.5%, you got some trust issues. Number 2, traffic. You got to have paid and organic. Good brands do paid or, great brands do paid and. Number 3, profit. Okay, this is email, text message, SMS, WhatsApp for my UK friends, European friends, and then mini chat. I'm going to spell it out because I can't say it correctly. Mini chat. So M-A-N-Y chat. Don't worry about that too much right now, but eventually you do want to be there. Number 4, customer experience. This is your shipping and the packaging and the customer service side of things. So many people spend all their time right here, and I'm telling you right now, do not spend all of your time here, because guess what? If you do not have these 3 things up here, don't worry about number 4. It's just not going to matter, because it turns out you don't need shipping, packaging, any type of customer service if you don't have customers. So if you're going to do this is kind of a 80-20 rule. 80% of your time should be finished up, focus on up here, and then 20%. I kind of battle myself here, because the 20% down here, the branding and messaging, important. What is branding? We should define this, because people do it differently. Some people think it's a logo, which is just Greek for a name. So is it a name? Well, names have no meaning unless there's something behind it. Okay, so not a name. It's this feeling that you get. Well, define a feeling. How can you do that? It's like nobody can really define a feeling and then spread it to everybody, right? Black is luxury. No, Mercedes, like it doesn't matter, right? It's about association. So if you're pairing 2 things together, for example, if I associated my brand with, I did partnerships with Rolex and with Mercedes, well then my brand would be a level of luxury, sure. But if I associated myself with a bunch of influencers who are known for, being a part of a drug cartel, well then I would have lower brand perception and my brand would actually go down. So make sure that you are very clear on who and how you are branding. Branding can be done through user-generated content, yourself. Guess what? You watch this, you are your struggling avatar, so you are your customer. It can be done through influencers, which at this point I just tell people who have a level of influence because followers don't count. It's an interest-based market, so I'm worried more about people who get views. So influence, affiliates, ambassadors. Look, if your business isn't growing, it's because of one of these 5 pillars. Right now in the beginning stages, I'll tell you right now, your website, you need a little bit more work on it, then you can start to do something, right? Especially month 1. You probably have something that looks cool. Please don't have this weird icon for your mouse. Please do not use music. Please do not use this weird video. Like, just give me a solid image of your ideal customer and tell them what to do, and make sure the hero section is clickable, and then go start to create some actual traffic. Look, if you nail these 5 pillars, hitting 20K per month isn't a matter of if, but a matter of when. Here's the truth though. Most brands never make it past year 1, and that's the sad part, because they spend too much time guessing and not enough time executing. 6 months from now, you could be right here, consistent orders, a loyal customer base, and the confidence of knowing exactly what to do each day to grow. Or you could still be stuck in a month 1 mode, burning hours on logos and praying someone finds you. So make sure that you do 2 things. Number 1, schedule that strategy call. Please go do that. And number 2, go watch the video on how to add gasoline to your fire with Instagram ads right here next. Thank y'all so much for watching. I truly do appreciate it. I'm cheering for you. And P.S. don't forget to subscribe.